Do you have a deep desire to build the business of your dreams, but it feels like your 9 to 5 is in the way? You, like most people, have probably normalized the extra long commute, the living the paycheck to paycheck. But what if I told you that this didn't have to be your story anymore? One thing that I have learned is that we cannot spend our lives and our time building someone else's dream while putting ours on the back burner. And so today, what I want to do is I want to share 5 hacks that you can begin to incorporate to win back your day and build the business that you desire and deserve, even if you're still in your 9 to 5. So the first step is to determine your desire for this change and your why. You see, your why is so powerful because when you don't know how you'll see something through, your why will make room for it. I remember for me, when I was writing my very first book, I'm like, I have no time to write a book as a busy single mom, getting her doctorate, working a full-time job and a part-time job. But my why was to leave a legacy for my daughters. And so even when I didn't know how I would make it happen, my why stayed in the forefront of my mind, and it gave me that momentum to continue to write. I took that same concept and I applied it as I was building out my business. And so I'm going to ask you, what is your why? Why is this important? Why do you desire this change, and why now? The second step is to come up with a plan that includes a desired time frame. You see a lot of coaches online that are like, quit your job, you go into your business full time. And while that sounds amazing and it seems appealing based on what they're posting, it actually can create a physiological response if you don't feel calm and regulated in your body to do that right now. So I'm one of those coaches that will tell you to come up with a plan. Write out what your freedom plan looks like. So how long do you want to maintain being at your job? How do you want your business model to be structured? What type of sales do you need in order to be able to leave and to feel comfortable? How long can you give yourself to be able to achieve that? This is so powerful because a plan gives you a guideline and a framework to follow. Let's take New Year's, for example. Every January 1st, people come up with what their New Year's resolutions are. And somewhere around mid-January, they've already thrown in that proverbial towel. And it's not because they don't want it, but it's because they don't have a plan. We are creatures of habits. And so it's easy to fall back into our old routine. It's easy to fall back into our old ways. And so a plan helps to remind us of things that we need to do and keeps us focused on the ultimate target. So what you want to do is reflect on some of those questions as you're beginning to develop your plan. But I'd like to add a little caveat here. Give yourself grace. Here's the thing, things change all the time, but we don't change the goal. We may change the path to get there, but we're always keeping that goal in the forefront of our mind. All right, the third step is to maximize your time. I have also fallen victim to this, but it's easy when you're wearing all the hats and doing all of the things to get your attention pulled in a million different directions and forget about what the priority is. And this often happens because we don't have a plan for how our time should be spent. And we wait until the day happens and then we let our time be spent however it happens. I don't want that for you. So you really want to think about the ways in which you can maximize your time. So this may look like taking time on your lunch break to work on some things in your business. This may mean waking up earlier when necessary so that you can work on things in your business. This may mean staying up a little bit later if you're a night owl to work on things in your business. One of the strategies that I have incorporated into my life that has been a total game changer for my productivity and my success is my 3D system: delete, delegate, and do. And with this process, it has helped me to really maximize my time. Research says that the average American wastes over 2.09 hours every single day. And we know what that is. We're scrolling social media, watching Netflix, one too many shows, all the things. But with the delete, delegate, and do, it allows you to take your time back and own that time. And so what you do with delete, delegate, and do is you look at how you're typically spending your time. You could look at the last, 48 to 72 hours and consider how have you been spending your time. And as you watch that, I want you to notice, okay, what are the things on my calendar that don't need to be there that I could totally delete, right? What are the things on my calendar that I could consider delegating? So maybe you're a mom and you're taking your kids to all these different practices and you can coordinate with another parent and say, you do pickup, I do drop off, something like that. Or asking a spouse to help with cooking dinner, something like that. And then there's things on your calendar that only you can do, right? Only you can go to your 9 to 5. Only you can create live videos for your business, things like that. But as you look at your calendar, what you want to do is you want to remove the things that need to be deleted, delegate where possible, and that will free up time for you to do more of the things that only you can do. And this is a game changer when you're already on a tight schedule. It frees up time for you to do the things that you know that you need to do to ultimately reach your big dream and your big vision. This now leads me to my fourth tip, which is all about getting support. So this may shock you because a lot of people feel like you need to be making massive moves in your business or a ton of money before you actually hire on support. And here's what I know, and I learned this the hard way. When you let other people be in their zone of genius and you get their support in that area, you have more room to stay in yours. I remember early on in my business, I had a discovery call with a lady that was going to be a client. I was so excited and she wanted to see my website. She's like, I just want to make sure you're legit. So I'd love to see your website. So I was like, oh my gosh, I got to get a website up. So I spent 2 weeks Googling and YouTubing, trying to get a website up. And finally, after 2 long, gruesome weeks, I got my website up. And it was awful. It was not user-friendly, meaning none of the links worked. It wasn't, beautified. It just wasn't engaging. Long story short, she never converted. But from that moment, I decided, okay, I need help with the website. And I also knew my limitations. And so I hired someone to create a website for me. And in that time frame that they spent creating a website in their zone of genius, I was able to start my YouTube channel and get that up and running. And so through this experience, I learned that when you try to save money, you can actually be wasting your most valuable resource, which is your time. So because of that realization, I stopped fearing the process of getting support and I began to really buy into the value of it. My next hire was a VA who didn't work full time. She just worked about 5 hours a week, but she posted each day while I was at work. And this took the pressure off of me of feeling like I needed to always be present when I couldn't always be present. So as you think about your business model and your business goals, I want you to think about what are those little small things that you don't really have the time for, but you also recognize that they're important for moving that needle forward that maybe you could get some support with. And remember, this doesn't have to be some full team hire or a full-time employee hire. It can be small little things that you need support with that will make a massive difference. Finally, the fifth and final step is to invest in yourself. And this could look different. It could be reading books, attending a workshop, taking a class, hiring a coach. But ultimately, when you invest in yourself, what that helps you to do is become a better entrepreneur and mentally prepare for the journey. You see, if you try to piecemeal your way to success by Googling and YouTubing and just throwing spaghetti at the wall, watching what sticks, I promise you it'll take a lot longer. But if you begin to work with someone or you attend a workshop where you learn from someone who has already done what you're desiring to do, you essentially get to allow them to let their footprints become your blueprints. This streamlines your process to success and cuts your time in half, if not less. So I want you to consider, in what ways can you invest in yourself today that your future self will thank you for? The truth is, making the shift from an employee to an entrepreneur is a large feat, but with proper support, understanding, and proper planning, you can totally do it. If you have a desire to scale your business, but you feel like your 9-to-5 is in the way, I have just the thing for you. The Elevate method is where you need to be. This is an unparalleled coaching certification program where you're not just going to become certified, but you're going to have an amazing and expansive community, as well as the coaching that will help you to see your vision through. Combined, these tools will help you to build your business even on a busy schedule. So let's go. Join us using the link in the show notes, and trust me when I say this is the decision that your future self will thank you for.